Hello. I made a little beat. Have a listen. I haven't made little beats in ages, but this one's a little bit funky, you know what I mean? Makes me want to make some hip hop, but not today. Today we're going to be talking a bit about driving etiquette and just etiquette in general. When the fuck did it become law? Yes, you're offended. That's subjective, nothing more. I'm never gonna give a shit, I'll never give a thought. What's the PC term? Give a fuck about law. Give a fuck about law. All that and more on today's episode. Hello. Sorry, I'm just wrestling with my fucking headphones. Not gonna get stressed out with it. Anyway, I wasn't gonna do a podcast today. I was gonna save it till tomorrow. But I was in the mood for it. So I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it now. I'm in the mood for it, why not? I'm also in the mood for a glass of milk today instead of a brew. And underrated is a lovely pint of fucking cold frosty milk with the condensation dripping down the outside. But anyway, enough about that. I want to talk about driving etiquette today because this interests me recently. But I'll give you a little bit of a background first. I mean, I've not had the best of luck with cars in my history. I've been banned a couple of times for silly mistakes and silly decisions that I did in my past that I'm not particularly proud of, but it's been a learning curve. So the first time I got banned, I used to work at Wetherspoons, and on one night I'd had a few bevs. I think I'd had about 4 or 5 pints, and I was like, I don't want to walk back. And sometimes I walked back, and it was miles. And I felt bad calling my old man for a lift because it was like, I didn't usually finish that job till about 2 in the morning. And bless him, he'd come and pick me up if I asked him to. If he knew I was on a close, he would come and pick me up. But this particular night, I didn't know. I might have said I was staying around with friends or something like that. But I wanted to go home. And many a times I did walk home. And it was about 4 or 5 miles. And I didn't used to get back to like 5:30 in the morning. After a long shift, sometimes 12-hour shift, and then a long fucking walk at the end of it. Awful. No wonder I was fucking depressed at the time. And but this particular night, I was like, nah, fuck it. I've had a few beers. I can't be asked to walk. I'm going to drive home. Bad decision, because I was pretty wavy. And what happened is I sort of come off the road. My left, it was quite muddy and wet. My left tyres went onto the verge. Obviously skidded. My car sort of went sideways, rolled. I think it only rolled once. I just ended up on my upside down in a bush. And I was like, fuck. All of a sudden, you blink of an eye, you're upside down in a bush. Half pissed, you think, shit. So my immediate thoughts were, well, I still need to get home. So I just started walking and stuck my thumb out. And luckily, I managed to get a lift from some kind person. And anyway, I got back and I thought, right, there's only one way to handle this. I can't hide it. There's no way of getting around it. I've got to fess up here. Because they'll just get up in the morning and say, where's your car? So I just opened the door. I think my dad was asleep on a sofa. And I said, just so you know, my car is upside down in a bush. All right? So I'll leave you with that. And then, of course, it all erupted. What do you mean your car's upside down in a bush? What do you mean? And sort of, I was in trouble. There's no way out of it. I was in smack bam in the middle of trouble there. There was no worming way out of that fucking situation. So I just took it on the chin. And then my old man was like, right, where is it? Let's go back to the site of the crash. And I was like, all right. Anyway, turned up. Police were there. And they were like, are you the driver? And I sort of said, yeah. They breathalyzed me, and they'd done me. Now, retrospectively, what I should have done is just hid somewhere. I should have just hid until the dust blew over, and then I wouldn't have got done. The alcohol would have been out of my system, and I wouldn't have got fucking done even if I fessed up later on. I should have just gone and hid, or just gone to sleep and fucking sorted out in the morning. But anyway, I didn't. One thing led to another. I got my comeuppance. I got my just desserts. Did I learn my lesson? Not really, because I got a year's ban, got my license back, and then about 5 years later or so, I'd say, I got done again. Similar situation, apart from I didn't crash. I was just out and about at about 2 o'clock in the morning in a car. And if you're out and about at 2 o'clock in the morning, in sort of November time, that's when the police are cracking down on drink drivers because they know it's nearly Christmas. People getting a little bit giddy. And I shouldn't have done it, but it was a similar situation. I was driving home from work. I'd had, I think 2 or 3 pints. I was unlucky. I wasn't driving badly. I wasn't doing anything wrong. They just pulled me out of pure suspicion that I was out and about at a stupid o'clock in the morning. And I was like, yeah, I'm just driving back from work. They're like, oh, just as routine, we're going to do a routine breath test. Fuck. Second time. Bad news. If you get done twice within 10-year period, it's bad fucking news. So they slapped me with a fucking 3-year ban that time. And if you get done again, did I learn my lesson the second time? Yes. Yes, I did. Because if you get done a third time, you could be looking at real fucking a custodial sentence. They don't, if you don't learn your lesson the first and the second time, they throw the bookie at the third time. They go, right, you're going to learn this time. They make sure you damn well learn. Don't do that. You can't do that. I've learned now. You just can't do that. As fun as it is, you just can't do it. It's just one of those little pleasures in life you're not allowed to do. You cannot drink and drive. I mean, back in the 40s and 50s and 60s, you could. I think it was just a socially acceptable thing to do. But things change, times change, laws change, etiquette changes. What's rude, what's offensive, what's legal, all changes. If I did that 40, 50 years ago, it'd be absolutely fine. So morally, from a moral standpoint, is it wrong? I don't know. There seems to be some sort of objective morality behind everything. And everyone can have their little opinions about what's right and wrong in the world. And everyone's got their own fucking decisions. And there's laws that sort of back it up and that are different in each country. But behind it all, there is an objective morality of what is right and what is wrong, regardless of anyone's fucking opinion. Like murder is clearly wrong. But it's weird because in some countries, it's different laws, isn't it? There's some stuff that goes on in England that is clearly wrong, but from an objective moral stance, we as a society will say it is wrong, but we're going to do it anyway. Like the meat industry, for example. Everyone knows that factory farming is torture to animals and it's wrong. It is morally wrong. But it's like they go, well people want meat. Well, people, it's supply on demand, isn't it? The demand's there, and it's like a blame game then, isn't it? It's like, well, they want it. If they want it, we'll provide it. Whose fault is it? The people that want it or the people that fucking make it? So that's something that's objectively, morally wrong, quite clearly, I'd say. But eating meat isn't wrong. It depends what situation you're in. I think it's the process of factory farming that's wrong. If you're fucking living, I don't know, if you just, there's loads of situations where you could eat meat and it's perfectly fine. If you hit a deer, I think it's objectively wrong to fucking leave it there on the side of the road. If it's dead, you should pick it up and fucking damn well eat it. You should fucking eat it. And in that situation, it's morally wrong not to eat the fucking deer. If you need to eat meat to survive, then that's morally right from an objective standpoint as well. So it just depends on the situation. It's a complicated and fucking grueling process to try and wrap your head around, and there's not much point to it because everyone will just turn around at the end of the day and say, well, this is my opinion. And you go, fair enough, you're entitled to it. And that's how a lot of fucking debates end up at the end of the day. I'm just going to have a sip of my milk there. Anyway, I didn't mean to get wrapped up in fucking objective morality. I also had another little crash. And I haven't had the best luck with cars, like I said. This third one, it wasn't my fault. I was in New Zealand, and we were just on an innocent little fucking excursion up a mountain in Rotorua. And my mate was driving. I was in the passenger seat, and he took a turn in too sharp on this gravelly road. And the problem is with these gravelly roads on the mountains is that they're quite slanted as well. But when you're sitting in a car, you can't tell that you're on a slant because the whole mountain's on a slant. So from your perspective, you're level, but really you're not. So if you take a turn too sharp, you will flip your car. And that's exactly what happened. The car just flipped. And because it was a hot day, the windows were down. I was in the passenger seat. I grabbed hold of the left-hand door. So my fingers were on the outside of the car because I was grabbing onto the fucking open window frame. Car rolled and gets crushed under the weight of a vehicle. It all happened in seconds. All I remember is my mate turned around to me, sort of above me at that point, because the car was on its side. Are you all right? I did a quick, you do a little quick, check on yourself, don't you? A little top to toe. Am I all right? And I looked at my hand. I was like, no, I don't think I am. Crawled out of there. And it's weird. The adrenaline was fucking shooting through me to a point where I was sick. So much adrenaline, I was actually sick on the side of the road. That was intense. And my little finger was just crushed. I couldn't move it. I couldn't do nothing. And the weird thing was about it, something I'll never forget, is the smell. The smell of the inside of your body. The smell of your flesh. The smell of your own meat. You know, like if you get a steak from the shop and you cut open the packet, and you can smell the smell of cow's flesh. Now, the smell of human flesh is different to that. And the smell of my own flesh, I'll never forget it. And that was real, looking at your crushed bone and cartilage and open fucking flesh and smelling the smell of it. That is a sort of, it was the smell that got me there. The vision, the pain I could handle. It was the smell. I was like, whoa, that is too fucking real. Nobody should smell the inside of their meat, their own meat. But it was the pain. It wasn't too bad, because at the end of the day, the pain, it only gets to a certain point. Superficial pain only gets so bad. It sort of gets to a peak and you can't get any more painful for that. For me, in my personal experience anyway. And then it's like your body knows you've hit that peak and it sort of turns pain off. And the adrenaline sort of helps as well. You just don't feel it really. It's like you're more likely to feel pain with smaller injuries, I found. Smaller burns hurt more than big burns, for example. Because big fucking deep burns burn through your nerve endings. Superficial surface burns, all your fucking nerves are fucking tingling, telling you I am burned. Deep ones, the nerves are gone. They can't say fuck all. So anyway, I had that. And now I don't miss it. It's good. It's the old finger. Oh yeah, the finger. They had to take it off because it was just beyond the point of no repair. They tried to fucking staple it together with fucking Frankenstein. It looked like a zombie finger. It looked like a mouldy sausage that had been forgotten about if a sausage, you can imagine if you get one gets lost behind the barbecue and you find it a year later. It's like that. It's all dried up. It sort of doesn't look good. Like a zombie's fucking dick. It looked like that. So they were like, what do you want to do? Do you want us to carry on working on it? And I was like, I don't think I do. And then they gave me the option. They're like, right, well, we can either take it off of the first knuckle, the third knuckle, or the third knuckle. 1, 2, or 3, you choose. And I was like, it's a little bit like being in a barber's this. What do I want? Do I number 1, number 2, or number 3? I was like, give me the fucking full. What did I do it? I did number 2, actually. Give me number 2. I want a bit of one there. Otherwise, I'm going to look like a smurf. You know what I mean? Which is fucking 4 fingers. So I want the evidence of the fingers to still remain. I want people to know there was one there. I wasn't born with fucking 4 fingers. I want people to know that there's a bit of a story behind that. There was a finger before. It's just not there anymore. Most of it, anyway. So I went for number 2. And I feel like that was the right decision because it's just out of the way now. And the only thing that bugs me about it now is when I want to scratch the inside of my left ear, because that is what little fingers are for. I can get the inside of my right ear absolutely fine. Left one, no. Guitar, fine. I just learned how to adapt the way I play chords. And actually, it's opened me up to playing the banjo. I never would have picked up before. But it's inspired me to learn the banjo, like I've said in a previous podcast about Django Reinhardt and all that jazz. But the weird thing is, with the old missing finger there, is at work, when you've been working with someone who clearly know that you're missing a finger, when you display it or you say to someone, oh, I've seen this, look at this, and you show them, they go, oh, and everyone always is weird. Everyone says this exact same fucking thing. They always say this. I never noticed that. Everyone says that. Everyone. And it's just like, you did. I mean, the chance of you not noticing that, if you've been working with me for 3 years, is fucking slim. I never noticed. It's as if they're trying to be really polite by going, oh, I didn't realise. But really, they're thinking, that's weird. I've been secretly glancing at it, but I don't want them to know I've been secretly glancing at it. So what I'll say is I never noticed it. So if I say I've never noticed it, they won't think I've been secretly glancing at it. I think that's the thought process behind it. But it just makes me laugh because you can predict what they're going to say. Honestly, about 8 out of 10 people, I never noticed that. Oh, didn't you? But, you know, you got to let people off. Maybe I would say that in the same situation. I think I probably would, to be fair. It's just polite, isn't it? It's like someone with no legs. You couldn't get away with it then, no, could you? Have you noticed, and they point down, no legs? Have you noticed that? Oh, I never knew. I never noticed that. But you're right, no legs. Well, blimey. It doesn't work for everything, obviously. It's just etiquette, isn't it? Which brings me on to my next bit. I wanted to talk about etiquette and how it's different, like in different countries and stuff like that. And what got me thinking about etiquette to start with was when I'm driving. There's a certain etiquette. There's a driving etiquette. For example, like dipping your headlights in the night time, or if someone lets you through, you give them a little wave, or you give them a little flash, or you do the little "come on then, mate" gesture. You say, "Come on, yeah." But for some reason, you always speak out loud when you do it. Even when you're on your own, you always say it. "Come on, mate." You don't just do the mouth thing. You could just mime it, but no, you always say it out loud. Or if you're slagging them off, you say, "You fucking dickhead. Come on then, you fucking prick. Fucking go then." Why do we decide to say things out loud in the car? We don't do it normally. I think it's because maybe we know no one else can hear us. But it still don't make any sense, does it? And what else doesn't make sense is, why are we so fucking polite when we're in a car? Why are we thanking people and things like that? You probably wouldn't thank people as much just when you're walking past. If you hold the door out over someone, sometimes people don't say fuck all. They just give you a little glance and a little smile. In a car, you give them a little thumbs up, a little fucking, gesture. Thank you very much. Even though you're never going to see this person again in your fucking life. You wouldn't even recognise them if you walked past them in the street 20 minutes later. So why are we so fucking polite to people in cars? I don't understand it. It's sort of like, it does sort of like reinstate your faith in humanity a little bit. Like when you're going past people at night and you both dip your headlights, that you don't know each other. There's nothing in it for you for dipping your headlight. You're doing it purely for them. There's nothing in it for you, but you do it anyway because you're just being nice. You're being nice to an unknown person who, for all your information, could be a cunt. But you dip your headlights anyway. Come on, mate, I'll dip mine. You dip yours. Well, I do like to play a little game though sometimes. If they dip their headlights too late, I dip mine, and then at the very last second, I dip them back up again to dazzle them just in the last second as they go past. But one thing that really pisses me off about people in cars, there's a few things actually, but one of the top one of them is when people signal to turn and they take forever doing it. There's nothing in your way. You're signalling. Fucking go. Fucking go. You're holding everyone up. That annoys me. Road rage. I get a lot of that. Something else that bugs me is when people come out, they pull out in front of you. And they nearly caused us to crash once. We were going down the road, and we were fucking going down the road, and they pulled out right in front of us. We had to swerve into oncoming traffic, otherwise we would have hit them. And I said to my partner, I was like, next time, just slam the brakes on. If you hit them, it's their fault. You shouldn't swerve into oncoming traffic because if another car was coming your way, we're all fucked. Just slam your brakes on next time. If we crash, we crash. Anyway, that happened, and then when that happened, I got out of the car. We stopped. Got out there, I fucking went over there and I started banging on their window going, "You fucking dick." And I was giving a bit of an earful because I was pissed off, you know what I mean? And they were sort of saying, I know. And they sort of locked their car door because I tried to open it and they weren't having any of it. I was in rage mode at that point. But anyway, I gave up and went back. And this is a while ago. And another thing happened, right? Where someone did exactly the same thing. They pulled out in front of me. And I beeped at them, of course, in an angry beep. A few beeps, one really long beep, just to make sure they know you're pissed off. And then I was like, no, actually, my angry beep is not enough. My angry beep is not enough. They need more. So I fucking tailed them. I fucking chased them down, overtook them, and then forced them into a stop. I pulled in front of them, and I was like, oh, they're not going anywhere now. I blocked the road. And then I got out and started marching over there to say, what the fuck do you think you're playing at? Anyway, they started getting their fucking phone out and started recording me. So I was like, abort. This is not going to look good. So I fucking, I pointed at him, gave her a little shake, and got on with my day. I think I got my message across anyway. Something else I like to do, right, is to sort of force people into a race, right? And you can do that quite easily. So what you do is, if you're going along like just a normal road, a two-way road, you got someone coming up behind you, and you fancy a little race. You slow down to a point where they overtake you. They get annoyed. They try to overtake you. And when they overtaken you and they get just about neck and neck, you then slam your accelerator on and you go, right, race time. And we see who's faster. That's what I like to do. It's quite a good one, that, because they've got no choice to have a race. It's a forced race. That's quite a good fun. Especially if someone's like insisting on tailgating you and they're right up your ass. You go, right, let's have a little race then. So you like that. It might be considered rude to be forced into a race. But why are we being so polite to each other? Why are we waving to say thank you? Why? There's literally no need for it, other than just common courtesy, I guess. But or letting people go, that's another one. If you just let them go. Let him go. No, let him go. Why? What's in it for you? I think the only people, when I see people letting people go, like at a junction, putting themselves out for someone they don't know, for a stranger, I think they're either on the clock, like they're at work, and it makes no difference to them. The longer the journey takes, the better. Or taxi drivers. Because taxi drivers have got an alternative motive, haven't they? They will love a traffic jam. They start rubbing their hands together when it's gridlock. They're thinking fucking brilliant. You know what I mean? They're just watching their fucking little meter go up. They're letting people through. They're the most politest drivers in the world, taxi drivers. Yeah, come on, mate, you go. And they'll do that all day fucking long. But saying that, I do think there are just some people out there who are just nice for no reason. They're just nice because they want to be nice. They don't need any need for it. We were in Greg's the other day, and this nice lady, she doesn't know her 40s, and she said, "Oh, tell me if I'm overstepping the mark, but would it be all right if I bought your little girl some little ear muff things for there's those little pudsey ear things for charity they have in sale? They're like, can I buy her one of them?" And we were like, "Yeah, of course you can. That's very nice for you, thank you." And she didn't need to do it. She just did it out of the kindness of her heart, and it sort of reinstates your faith in humanity sometimes when people just do nice things for no reason. Another example I could think where someone did something nice for no reason, this is excellent etiquette, is I was with my mate Bogdan, we'll use that name, and we're in Kerry, and we're on a little holiday. I'll talk about that in more detail later. Just on that, for some reason, whilst we're on this holiday, little segue, I thought it'd be funny to fill my jeans full of flammable gas through the crotch area where there was a hole, and then set it alight. I mean, luckily I've still got my testicles intact. But anyway, whilst we were there, there's not much to do in Kerry. It's a pretty desolate fucking landscape. There's mountains and lakes, and it's nice looking, but it's cold and it's wet, and there's not much to do. So what you tend to do is either swim in a lake or climb a mountain, because that's all there is. Anyway, we started climbing this mountain, and right at the top of the mountain, in this little pile of rocks, there's a little bottle of whiskey in there, about half full, I'd say, and had a label on it saying, "Well done, you got to the top. Have a swig and leave the rest for the next person." And I just thought, that's lovely. What excellent etiquette of the person who put it there. For all they know, someone could have just come and just taken the whole bottle of whiskey and thought, "Oh, lovely, a nice bottle of whiskey." But no, you take a swig and you leave it for the next person. And you don't even know who they are. It's a little bit like that saying, what is it? A society grows great when old men plant trees that they'll never sit under the shade of, or something like that. And it's all about doing something for people without having any sort of reward for yourself. It's not going to help you. You're just doing something for the good of others, even if you don't know who the fuck they are. And it's nice when you see little bits of evidence of that around society. But yeah, Kerry, it was a good little holiday. I remember, other than spraying my testicles with flammable gas, something else I did there was just there's loads of blackberry bushes. Like I said, there's not much to do. So one of the days we went along blackberry bushes and was just seeing how many I could eat. I was just stuffing myself full of blackberries. And my mate was laughing. And I like making people laugh, so I just carried on eating them. And I ate so many, I was just sick. I remember just being sick, purple. I was just sick, purple sick. Because I ate too many blackberries. And as well as that, I think we'd had a few beers. I don't know, probably. Whilst we were there as well, we went swimming in fucking freezing cold lakes. Like I said, it's not much to do. Not much to do in Kerry, anyway. I've been to Ireland a few other times. Once I went with my sister. I went to Galway. You know that Galway girl song? That's what it's about. And it's a bit touristy. But it is a nice, hip, happening fucking Irish town. Plenty of pubs and stuff like that. But one of the things that sort of surprised me, and I didn't expect, is the general hatred of English people from Irish people. They honestly do not like English people. I remember we were talking to a few old Irish blokes. We had a few beers, and often they would say, "Oh, you're English, are you?" Oh, and they give you a funny look and start bending your ear about colonialism. It's like, fucking hell, mate. I'm only coming on holiday to say hello. And they're like, one of the times we were going down near one of these bars, right? You have to get let in by the bouncers. One of these bars, and me and my sister tried to get in, and they wouldn't let us in, and they kept on making different excuses. First time they said, "Oh, you're a bit too pissed. Come in later." We weren't. We were fine, but we did what they said. We went off. We came back like 45 minutes later, going, "We're all good now. Can we come in?" They said, "Oh no, you can't come in." I was like, "Why not?" And they went, "Because she's wearing shorts." She's wearing fucking shorts. And then we went away, came back another time. There's another reason why we couldn't come in. And one of the lads, I think somewhere, we found out, they said they're not letting you in because you're English. And I was like, "Oh really?" I just didn't realise like how much people fucking hate the English over there. But yeah, that was Galway. It was good. I did like Galway. It was nice. Lots of lovely Irish live music. It's good. And then we went to somewhere called Limerick, which is often referred to as the armpit of Ireland. Stab City, as a blind boy has alluded to. This fellow who does this good podcast called the Blind Boy Podcast. Give it a listen. It's fucking wicked. And anyway, so I thought, I like the sound of this Limerick place. It sounds like a bit of the real Ireland. I like to not just go to the touristy places. So I thought, armpit of Ireland, Stab City, Chicken Hut, let's go. And me and my sister were like, let's check it out. Let's check out this Limerick place. It might be interesting. And so on the way there, we were having a bit of a stressful situation because we didn't have anywhere to stay. And so we ended up finding this Airbnb very last minute. And it was the most fucked up place I've ever stayed in my whole entire life. We turned up there. It was locked. I didn't even know if it was the right place because didn't seem to be a door number on it or nothing. Anyway, this woman fucking came and let us in about half an hour later. Walked in there, and it was like we were walking into someone's house. It was literally lived in, and it was messy. Like the air fryer hadn't been cleaned out or nothing. It was fucking clothes and shit everywhere. There was fucking ornaments. It smelt like an old person's house. It was messy. There were coats hung up. You could pretty much fucking see where they buttered their toast in the morning. It was just like they've just left their house and we're now in their house now. This is weird. My sister thought it was hilarious, but I just thought this is fucking weird. I was just poking around, having a little rummage around their stuff, just out of interest. Just going, look at this. This is weird. Look at this. There was a drawer with some really strange toys in there, which I didn't want to touch, and a twister mat. I thought, what have they been doing in here? There's a twister game and some weird apparatus in there I don't want to touch. This is creeping me out. Anyway, we just got pissed and had a good old night in there in the end, stuck some music on, and left as soon as we could in the morning. I've mentioned about Chicken Hut before, so I won't bore you with that. The Guinness, I had the best pint of Guinness over there in Limerick. To be fair, it was the best pint of Guinness I had in Ireland so far. And another thing that happened there was I wasn't sure to this day what it meant, but we were sitting in a park drinking bottles of Guinness, and it was getting to about 6 o'clock, and then this fella started ringing a bell, going ding, ding, ding. And I was like, what does that mean? And my sister was like, it's closing the park. I was like, I'm not ready to leave the park yet. So we just sat there, stayed there for a bit more. And then the guy comes sort of past us and he goes, "Oh, I won't do an Irish accent because I'm not good at it." But he said, "Oh, don't worry about it. You don't have to get out. The guards will come and sort you out, sort it out for you. You don't listen to me. You can listen to the guards." And anyone who doesn't know, the police in Ireland are called the guards. And my sister thought he was being friendly by saying, "Oh, it's all right. The police will let you out when you want to." Now, I took it as a threat. It was like, don't listen to me and my bell. You wait till the fucking police come and they'll have you. Get out of the fucking park. That's what I thought they were saying. But yeah, good times in Ireland. I had some good times in Ireland. And that bottle of whiskey on top of the mountain was fantastic etiquette, I'd say. The interesting thing is that sometimes the line between etiquette and law is all blurry. Because in some countries, what is bad etiquette, in another country, that same thing could be illegal, and vice versa. It's just it's not a very clear distinction. Like I said, it goes back to that objective morality thing and where law comes in to sort of enforce it. For example, like in Dubai, they've got such strict laws that if there's someone did a video once where they left their wallet and their phone on a car, just left it there, fucked off for a couple of hours, came back, and it was still on their car. Now, if you did that in Northampton, where I'm from, it would have been gone in 5 minutes, if you're lucky. If you're lucky. In Dubai, just leave it there because the punishment is so severe that it's just not worth it. Everyone knows it's just not worth it to do anything illegal like that. So it's like, yeah, it does work, but it's weird when you have things that are just bad. Like, for example, something that's bad etiquette in the UK is like PDA, like public displays of affection in like restaurants or on the street or whatever. It's not illegal. It's just slightly bad etiquette. Or if you're in a room with a load of people and someone starts doing PDA, starts feeling each other up in the fucking living room, it's just bad etiquette, isn't it? Or in a cafe, or in McDonald's, wherever. But if you did that in Dubai, it's illegal. You get banged up. I think you're not even allowed to like hold hands or stuff like that going down the street. Obviously, that's perfectly fine in the UK. But it's just weird about where the law comes in. The law's backing up what's objectively moral in these whatever country it may be. And it's just an interesting balance. And it's like they're taking it out of opinion. It's like a lot of etiquette is down to public opinion. But when etiquette gets so bad, the law has to take it into its own hands and goes, right, that's such bad etiquette, we're making it illegal. We're stepping in here. That's really rude. We're fucking stamping it. It's not, fuck your opinion. That's bang out of order. Some places are like that, innit? But as well as that, some things are a bit ambiguous in terms of where the law comes in. Like hand gestures, for example. It's very difficult to pin people down to legalities when it comes to hand gestures in the UK, I'd say. I reckon if you're in Dubai and you give someone the fucking middle finger, they'll come over and chop it off and you won't do it again. In England, they have to prove that it's causing someone alarm or distress or whatever. And then they might be able to do you for a Section 5, whatever it is, public order. Like if you're going around, like just giving police the finger for hours, you probably get some sort of result come from that. But if you just flicked him off once in the car as you drove past, again, it's like, can they be bothered? Can they really be bothered to chase you down and fucking pull you over, do a stop and search, then do you for a Section 5 when they could get on with their fucking job? I think it depends on how busy their day is. I think it depends on how much they got on. And if they can prove it as well. Did you give me the finger? No, I was waving. You know what I mean? Unless they've got like evidence. It's difficult, isn't it? I think hand gestures is a tricky one. And hand gestures, some are rude, some are not. If you give your finger to your mate, it's not rude. It's what's the word? It's affectionate. If you've got a friend and you give them the finger, you say, fuck you. As a joke. It's like an affectionate thing. If you give the finger to someone you don't know or someone you don't like, it's offensive. Same gesture, different meanings, just because you're fucking friends with someone or not. So is it the gesture that's wrong, or is it you just not liking someone that's wrong? Because sometimes you could not like someone and you could just wave at them in a really patronising way. That you could mean it offensively, but because you're waving and not giving them the finger, you won't get in trouble. But you mean the same thing. So what's wrong in all that? So where does the objective morality come in there? It's too convoluted. It's too messy, isn't it? For me, anyway, I can't get my head around it. And because it's one of those things I can't quite get my head around, I spend a fair bit of time trying to understand it by pushing boundaries. Because that's where the truth lies, isn't it? If you can discover where the boundaries are, that's where you can discover what's sort of right or wrong in sort of a subjective and an objective different perspectives, and go, right, that was offensive for that person, but not for me. And you can try to sort of discover the landscape of morality that way. And one of the ways I did that was when I was in New Zealand. And I was pretty bored. Missus was shopping. I was in a supermarket. And I thought, how close can I get to someone and burp before they have something to say about it? And it starts off at a certain distance. You just get a look. They'd look at you. But if you get so close to a point, then it depends on the person. But this particular person, this particular day, took real offence to it. They're like, how fucking dare you? Got really annoyed at me. I just laughed at them because I sort of got the result that I wanted. And then I'd made an enemy in the store. I'd made an enemy. She was pissed off. Anyway, fate would have it. When we were checking out our shopping, I had my trolley. She had her trolley. And she was fucking behind me in the queue. And I was like, oh shit. Here we go. She's fucking glaring at me. I'm trying not to look at her. She knows I've been laughing at her. She knows I was winding her up. I'm in trouble here. Anyway, I'll check my stuff out. She checked her stuff out. And then she might have been the one next to me, actually. We were checking out at the same time. And then on the way out of the shop, I was approaching the glass double doors. And she was behind me. And I could see her in a reflection behind me with her trolley. And she took her trolley and started running at me. She was about to fucking ram me with her trolley. Ram me. And I was like, fuck, she's coming at me. Anyway, I could see this happening in reflection, but she didn't know I could see this happening in reflection. So at the very last minute, I just fucking swerved out the way, and she missed and went into the double doors, or hit something, and I just laughed again. And at that point, that tipped her over the edge. She was really pissed off at that point. And then she started calling her fucking fella, I guess, on her phone, saying, I need some help here. This fella's fucking... She tried to get me fucking beaten up, I think. She was calling in fucking assistance to someone to give me a hiding, because I'd done her twice there. And look, it's not something I'd do now. This was years ago. I've changed. What can I say? But back then, I was having a laugh in the only way that I knew how. And anyway, because I had this potential threat, I got my shopping in the car and then went and hid. I went and hid in a pub or a McDonald's somewhere, I think, until the dust blew over. Something else that I also used to do to push the boundaries, which I thought, this one I think is still quite funny. It was when lockdown was all just starting to kick off, and there was some restrictions in place, and everyone knew COVID was cropping up. I used to go shopping in Lidl and just start coughing, just put a little fake cough on. You know, everyone's wearing fucking face masks. I was there, no face mask, just coughing around. And I used to get some fucking hilarious looks and a couple of comments as well. So that was always good fun. But I was just pushing the boundaries just to see where are the limitations. At what point is someone going to pipe up and say, stop? That's what I like to discover, where the line is. I like to see a clear line. And there's only one way to find out where that line is, and that's to push the boundaries and see where they are. In my opinion, anyway. One I did, I've been doing this for years, I think. One I did years ago. This is when I was like 19, 18 even. We managed to drive someone to the verge of insanity in Poundland. And what we did was we found our target. I don't know how we selected them. And we used to go to the end of the aisles and just stare at them. And then when they seen us staring at them, we would run away, go to the other end of the aisle, poke our heads out at the other end, and stare until they cottoned on we were staring at them again. Anyway, they knew then we were looking at them, and they were getting visibly irritated. And we just carried it on. And obviously they were going from different aisles to different aisle, and so were we. And we were just following them until they were getting really annoyed with it. And then eventually they just burst out, "Stop staring at me! Stop looking at me!" real loud. Obviously, everyone then started looking at her. And we were then like, what do you mean? And then we were going, I think she's a little bit cuckoo, you know. And everyone was going, yeah, maybe she is. And everyone then was thinking, there's a nutcase in the store. And I think she just got out of there as quick as possible. And, you know, I'm not proud of it, but it's just what we did for a bit of fun back in the day. I think if everyone was honest with themselves, everyone got up to a bit of mischief back in the day when they were young. And everyone done stuff that they wouldn't fuck it like 20 years ago that they wouldn't talk about openly now. But yeah, the Poundland thing, that would, like, driving someone mental would be considered bad etiquette, I would say. But where does the etiquette come from? Like, sorry to keep harping back to the same point, but where does it come from? Like, would it be frowned upon to sit in a restaurant topless? In the UK, yes. In Spain, probably not. Why? But when you think about it, when you actually sit down and think, there's loads of things that you shouldn't do in the UK because it's bad etiquette without even thinking about it. There's stuff that you just automatically do or don't do. Like when you give someone a hug, for example, never more than 3 seconds. A quick hug is normal. If you give someone a hug and it goes on for longer than 3 seconds, instantly people are going to go, this is getting weird now. If you hug someone and don't let them go for like a whole minute, for example, people are then thinking, what's going on here? Are you all right? Then that goes beyond bad etiquette to confusion. If you hug someone for like 5 minutes and you don't let them go and they're struggling to get out and you're not letting them go, now you'll get probably breaching into illegal. So 3 seconds, normal. 1 minute, bad etiquette. 20 minutes, call the police. Eye contact is another one. Eye contact, you can linger, make an eye contact for someone for a split second. That's okay. That's okay etiquette to be looking at someone. It's okay to look at each other. We need to look at each other. We need to recognise each other. We need to identify people that we may or may not know. Looking at people is perfectly fine. But if you look at someone that you don't know, lock eyes with them, they look at you, they do the polite thing and look away. They usually quickly check back to make sure you're still not staring at them. You both do a little check back. You both meet eyes. You both look away out of politeness, good etiquette. And then you both do a little check back to make sure the person you locked eyes with isn't still staring at you. If you check back at the same time, which does sometimes happen, then you do like it's a double check back. You locked eyes accidentally. You both look away. You look back again to check you're not still staring at each other, and you're looking at each other again. Then you look away, but that's okay. At least you're trying to avoid eye contact. That's normal. If you look back at someone and they're just staring at you, and you don't know them, then we got bad etiquette going on. They're like, what do you want? Why are you interested in me? Fuck off. Sometimes it's like when you're at school, you always get that odd person going, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? You're looking at me. Sometimes if you're looking at someone, that's an invitation to a fight, like in prison or at school. Or yeah, if you linger in eye contact with someone, it's like you're challenging them. Don't stare at someone you don't know. They might come and kick your head in. It's bad etiquette. Going into supermarkets with no shoes or socks on. That's an interesting one. Because in New Zealand, that's normal. It's absolutely fine. You can go into supermarkets, no shoes and socks on. Fine. In England, bad etiquette. Where's your shoes and socks, mate? You're going to draw a question. Someone might start staring at you then. If someone starts staring at you because you've not got no shoes or socks on, then it's not bad etiquette anymore. They're looking at you because you're acting weird. Because of your bad foot etiquette, that means they can then engage in bad eye contact etiquette. So it can have a knock-on effect. This is one that I didn't realise until relatively recently. You're not allowed to fall asleep in hotel lobby rooms. Why not? Like, I was at a wedding once, and this wedding, it was being held at a hotel. And I'd had one too many beers. I thought, I'm going to go and have a little sit down. And I went and found one of these like little sofa type things. I put my feet up and I was resting my eyes. And I got fucking rudely awakened by this fucking hotelier. And he said, excuse me, mate, you're not allowed to sleep here. And I was like, okay. So I just fucking opened my eyes. and just looked at him, and he's like, waiting for me. I was like, what? I'm awake now. And he said, well, you need to put your legs down. I was like, fucking hell. So it's not sleeping that you're not allowed to do. It's putting your legs up. So then I put my legs down and shut my eyes. And he wobbled my knee again. Excuse me, sir. I said you're not allowed to sleep. I said, no, you said you're not allowed to put your legs up. I'm not allowed to sit here and close my eyes then. What's the bad etiquette? Is it sleeping or put my legs up? Make your fucking mind up, mate. And that was one thing I didn't realise. It annoyed me. Pissing in the sea. That's another one. I think it's acceptable to piss in the sea as long as you don't look like you're pissing in the sea whilst you're doing it. I think as long as nobody knows, it's all right. But everyone does it. But you couldn't just go over and take a piss in the sea openly. That would be bad etiquette. But you're allowed to go into the sea and take a piss. So it's not the act of taking a piss in the sea that's bad etiquette. It's people knowing that you're taking a piss in the sea that's bad etiquette. So that's an interesting one. It's just the knowledge part that's the bad etiquette, not the act itself. Can I piss in the sea? Absolutely fine, mate. Just don't let anyone see you do it. That's what that one is. Touching people. That's an interesting one. You shouldn't touch people. That's bad etiquette. The only time you should touch someone is if you're shaking their hand or getting someone's attention that you don't know their name. If you prod a friend on the shoulder, that's ruder than prodding a stranger on the shoulder. Because if you're prodding a stranger on the shoulder, it's because you don't know their name. So it's like, you stab them on the shoulder. Excuse me, mate. Did you see that? You're about to get hit by a car. If you tapped your mate on the shoulder to get their attention, they'd be like, why don't you say my fucking name? So sometimes it depends on if you know them or not, which is weird because you would have thought that it would be less offensive to tap your mate on the shoulder, but it's not. The only time you touch people is most of the time if you're shaking their hand or giving them a hug to say hello. It's a greeting. Other than a greeting, you're not touching each other. The only time you touch each other, the only time all this etiquette shit goes out the window is if you're in a crowded place, like on the tube. If you're on the tube, you're crammed in, and then all etiquette changes. You're allowed now to touch each other. You're allowed to be squashed in. You're touching each other. You got no choice. Eye contact is on the fucking rise. You're looking at each other, trying to fucking find a little space they can look at without looking at anyone or touching each other's shoulders. Anxiety is on high alert. Lots of people look at their phones. Lots of people look at their book. Some people choose something to look at on the wall. They look at that. I like to look at the little train route because I'm not very good at getting off on the train in London. I think the tube in in London is one of the most complicated fucking things I've ever tried to do in my life. Why is there so many different random lines? Why can you get on the same line going in the wrong direction? Why is it like a fucking little maze every time you try and get onto a train with loads of fucking tunnels everywhere, splitting off in all different directions? And everyone seems to look like they know where they're going, apart from me. And I'm like, I'm just going with the fucking flow right now. I feel like I'm a trickle of water in a stream. I'm just fucking being sucked along like a fucking crisp packet on a river. I've got no choice in my own direction anymore. You sort of make a choice at the start of it. You go, right, I think I'm going to go up these steps here. And before long, you're fucking down a little fucking twist and turns of a maze. You don't know where you're going. You're just getting fucking dragged along by the crowd. I don't know, yeah, the tube. And how the fuck did I get onto that? And yeah, being crammed in. It's sort of an acceptable time. One of the few acceptable times you can touch people. Oh, I just thought of another one. If you're at a rave and you're all moshing together, that's an acceptable form to be touching each other. And that's sort of like just because it's crowded. In an emergency, if there's a fire going on, the alarm goes off, everyone's crowded around the fucking exit trying to get out so they don't burn alive. That's when etiquette goes out the window as well. Like, I don't give a shit if someone's touching me. I don't want to burn to death. So it's all right. I had a very embarrassing thing happen to me once when I was at work, and it was about touching. But I every now and then I give my missus just an affectionate little tap on the ass, just an affectionate little one. It's nice, you know what I mean? Not in a derogatory way, just in a friendly little tap on the ass, just to say how are you. And when I was at work once, I accidentally mistook this other girl for my missus, and I slapped her on the ass. instantly realised it's not my missus. And then was like, oh my God, I'm so fucking sorry. I did not mean to do that. I thought you were someone else. Luckily, she thought it was funny that I was embarrassed. But it could have gone the other way. You know what I mean? It could have been fucking sexual assault. Well, I just thought it was, I genuinely thought it was fucking just my missus. And I was just obviously red as a beetroot. Fucking just trying to implode with fucking embarrassment. So all I could do is just apologise for about 20 minutes. That's another thing that's good etiquette to do in England, is just to apologise all the time, even if it's not your fault. Even if it's not necessary to apologise. You can just hold the door open for someone and go, sorry. And the other person goes, sorry. You just all say sorry to each other and walk by. You're right, mate, yeah, you're sorry. And say sorry all the time, unnecessarily. I'm trying to reduce my sorries recently. It is silly, isn't it? It is silly. Just saying sorry all the time. English people say sorry so much that it takes away from a real time you need to be genuinely sorry. So much to the point now, it's quite difficult to actually say sorry. Because if you say sorry sometimes now, as an Englishman, if you say, oh, I'm sorry, it comes across as sarcastic now. You go, oh, I'm so sorry. So there's too many sorries flying around. You got insignificant, meaningless sorries. You got sarcastic sorries. So when you try and give it like a real, genuine sorry, it's just in a sea of other sorries. So it's quite difficult to land a decent apology these days. So yeah, I'm trying to reduce my sorry. So when I need to pop out a genuine one, people know I mean it. But anyway, I've pretty much ran out of time for today. But I've enjoyed today's episode. It's a bit of an ad hoc fucking episode, and I really fucking loved it. I've got a new little short-term plan coming on. I've recently ordered a tin whistle, and I'm looking forward to that arriving. I'm going to be learning me a tin whistle, and I'm excited for that. So, so all that and more to look forward to next time in coming weeks. We've got klezmer music coming up. We've got tin whistling. We've got all sorts. So thanks for swinging by. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. And I'll leave you with this. And goodbye.
Good afternoon. You're through to John at Dorset Council. How may I help today?
Hi there. I'm just after a bit of advice, please.
I'll see what I can do for you. What is it you're looking for?
So basically, it's about how can I put it? It's about making sure that I'm operating in an illegal way. So I'm just making sure that I'm not crossing the line from bad etiquette into anything illegal. So I can give you a couple of examples. So, are you there? Sorry?
Still here, yeah. What is it you do?
So, no, it's just like general social cues, I'd say. So, for example, if you're hugging someone, if you're hugging someone for longer than 3 seconds, is that...
I'm afraid you're on the wrong line. We don't give advice on that, I'm afraid.
Okay, I've got another one then.
Not sure. Okay.
Eye contact. How long is it acceptable to look at someone in the eye?
I don't know. It depends on the person, I suppose.
Do you reckon 3 seconds is too long?
Again, down to the individual.
Do you reckon this is subjective?
Whatever you're comfortable with.
If it was you, what would you say would be like, that's too much now? Look somewhere else.
I've never really thought about it. I'm sorry.
That's all right. My next one would be walking into shops and supermarkets barefoot. Is that an acceptable thing to do in the UK?
That would be down to the shops. Most shops require you to wear footwear.
So that's the requirement. For what reason, sorry?
Hygiene.
So that's down to the own shop's regulations, their own hygiene regulations.
That's right, because you don't know what foot infections, whatever they might have. If somebody's cut their foot, they could be bleeding, so there'd be blood.
Good point.
Even something as simple as athlete's foot, you don't want people's flaking skin on the floor. Generally shops in the UK require you to wear footwear.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point there. I didn't think of that. Okay, noted. And my next one would be falling asleep in hotel lobbies. Is that okay? If you're tired.
Down to the hotel. If they're happy enough, if their reception desk is happy enough for you to sleep there, that would be down to them. But if they ask you to move or, rent a room to sleep in, I mean, it's not ideal for people to be asleep in a hotel lobby when they're renting rooms out.
Yeah, fair point. I'll take that one on board. The next one would be urinating in the sea. Is that legal?
I don't know about legal, but there's usually toilets available in most seafronts, public toilets that you can go to.
Not all, though. Not all. So what about the ones that don't
shops?
have? What if it is more like a secluded beach area where it is a tourist attraction, so there's lots of people around. However, it's all secluded, so there's no built-up areas or anything like that. It's just coastline.
I would say usually if it's a tourist area, then there would be facilities available. But generally speaking, no, because it could be classed, if you are spotted, it could be classed as indecent exposure and you might end up having the police called on you.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, thank you very much. You've been a big help. I appreciate that.
No problem. Best of luck with whatever it is you're doing.
Thank you very much, and I'll see you later. Cheers, mate.
Take care. Bye.
Cheers, mate. Goodbye. Poor fella. Sounds like he had a bad day. But killed a bit of time anyway. See you later.